Did it ever occur to you that unlike Asia and the US, Europe doesn't have many skyscrapers? Despite being one of the most developed countries, Europe has surprisingly fewer skyscrapers. You want to know why? Let's find out. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. For this video, we'll find out why Europe doesn't build skyscrapers like the US or Asia, but before anything else, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel as well. You can also click the notification bell down below so you won't miss any of our future uploads either. Without any further interruptions, let's go ahead and get right into the video. Statistically, 66% of the skyscrapers are located in just 5 cities: London, Paris, Frankfurt, Moscow, and Istanbul. The question remains, despite being economically prosperous, how come major European cities don't have skyscrapers? Well, it's all rooted in history. When skyscrapers were first introduced in the 19th century, first in Chicago, then came New York, many European cities were already established with grand historic buildings and public spaces that left little space for large new structures. Around that time, a vast majority of Europe was more evenly zoned and was not facing the high demand for floor spaces in its key cities. Back in the days after the Second World War, many thought European cities would replicate the skyscrapers that were rising across North America. But at that time, the lower population of Europe meant that the demand for floor area was just not there. As a result, modest structures replaced buildings that had been destroyed. In Eastern Europe, the expanding Soviet Union's rebuild effort consisted of mid-rise structures that aimed to rehouse much of the population. While Brussels doesn't have a true skyscraper, it is actually responsible for the lack of skyscrapers across the whole of Europe. Without any zoning regulations, the 1960s saw many buildings in the city demolished to make way for large structures that had little regard for architectural value. Recognizing the damage this redevelopment was doing in the city, many architects gave birth to the term Brusselization and introduced planning rules as a result. These regulations limited the scale of new buildings and required historic facades to be restored and incorporated to new developments, preserving the cultural fabric of the city. The row in Brussels led to a dislike for modern buildings across Europe, with many seeing them as bland. By the start of the 21st century, the concept around tall buildings was slowly progressing across the whole of Europe as architectural trends moved away from box-like figures and towards more unique and aesthetics. Since the early 2000s, major financial centers like London, Paris, Moscow, Istanbul, and Frankfurt have seen the demand for skyscrapers as it caters more commercial space. However, in smaller cities of Europe, they see growth in an entirely different way. They tend to focus more so on the environment and improving living standards for its citizens. This resulted in urban areas like Scandinavia and Central Europe to rank highest in the world for sustainability, happiness, and overall well-being while maintaining importance within their national economies. But skyscraper construction in the cities of today is no longer driven purely by economic progression of the need for commercial space. With 60% of the global human population set to be living in urban areas by 2030, residential skyscrapers are now dominated in prominence, particularly across Asia and the United States. As many traditional industries become automated, millions are moving into major urban areas, driving demand for residential space that is often met by high-rise structures. Europe is not immune to this phenomenon, particularly in such a heavily industrialized world and with Europe's desire to keep up with the progress of China and the US. With this, Europe could witness a boom of skyscrapers in decades ahead. But the real challenge is, urban centers are now being declared as historically significant. We're all curious how Europe will be able to retain its cultural richness while merging with the need of modern architecture. I guess we'll see it in years to come. But that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on any future content we'll put out for you guys, and share this vid with a couple of friends too. We're signing off for now, but we will surely catch you all in the next one.